You stand in the presence of SumitoMedia of House Sarwar, rightful heir to the AK racing gaming chair, rightful king of the meme lords in the first green text, protector of the dank memes and smasher of the like button, father of Pepe's and Khaleesi of the nearby Chipotle. Winter is coming, my friends, and with it, it brings a brand new season of Game of Thrones and a brand new season of spicy Game of Thrones memes. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the SumitoMedia Show, your friendly neighborhood stop for all things memes. And this week, we're taking a look at one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Game of Thrones, aka Peter Baelish got friend-zoned once and now he's being a real dick about it. Now, Game of Thrones holds a special place in my heart because it's one of the few TV shows that I actually saw the memes and then thought the memes were so funny that I had to go and watch the TV show to truly appreciate them. It dragged me into the meme culture that was created by these people, and for good reason. The show's fantastic, the characters are incredibly well written, and the fans are just the best memeing community ever. Given Game of Thrones' track record, if I were a betting man, I'd say the ending is Daenerys on the throne. She sleeps with Jon Snow. Predictable. The second he leaves, she pulls off a mask. It's really Arya. And we're all grossed out because it's incest, just not the incest we thought it'd be. And that's one thing HBO did right. If you were aiming for more incest in a TV show than you see on the front page of Pornhub, you got it right, buddy. Now, I think the only proper way to take a look at the memes in this show is to take a look at the progression of characters over the 8 seasons that we've seen so far, starting with Ned Strark. Yeah, he hasn't really changed that much since dying in season 1. No, obviously, we have to start with Daenerys, the last Targaryen, I think, unless I don't know, man, family trees are hard to cover, but Daenerys, her life starts in season 1, mostly by being raped all the time by Khal Drogo. I didn't write the books, everybody's gotta start somewhere. Daenerys goes from being a desperate housewife to hatching 3 animals that she calls her children. I'm not going to compare it to Jenna Marbles, and neither should you. Multilingual Redditors, what is your "they didn't realize I spoke their language" story? So I'm buying the slave army from this Valerian asshole, right? 2 major points we need to touch on when looking at the memes for Daenerys. The first one is when Jon Snow visits her and needs to claim that she is the queen, or as she says, he needs to bend the knee to her. Seriously, 3 whole episodes watching these guys quabble on about whether or not Jon Snow would bend the knee has formed some pretty solid memes in the Game of Thrones community. Oh, looks like somebody bought a Jon Snow action figure. Oh, it was Daenerys Targaryen, and she asked a question, are the knees bendable? Because I need him to bend the knee. When you're trying to get your toddler's legs into a one-piece pajama, bend the knee. You know, I think Dany would make a pretty good mother. Second thing you need to know about Daenerys Targaryen is that Jon Snow is also a Targaryen, which makes this like the 50th example of incest in this TV show, and you'd think we'd be used to it by now, but no, it's still kinda creepy. When Targaryen women are supposed to f*** their brothers, but both your brothers are dead, so you f*** your nephew. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Good news, Sansa, you're gonna be an aunt very soon. Is it still good news if I tell you you're an aunt too? You're sleeping with your nephew. Up next, we've got most basic people's favorite character, Jon Snow. Jon Snow started as a bastard of one of our main characters, we all know how that ended, and then decided to become the main character of the entire show. Who would have seen that coming except for anybody who read the books, but let's be fair, that's probably no one. Really only 2 major things you need to know about Jon Snow as far as the memes go though. A, he's banging Dany. And B, he was stabbed to death while he was on the Night's Watch and then came back to life. I probably should have started with that one. It's a little more crazy. So I just got back the thumbnail for this video from the dude that I had Photoshop it on Fiverr. Why do I look so bad as Jon Snow, but I look just fine as Daenerys Targaryen? What the fuck is this?
Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot!
When you go in search of dragon glass, but end up getting dragon ass. Hey, that's my boy Johnny. Jon Snow sleeping with Daenerys Targaryen was a huge point of contention. Everybody had the feeling that it was going to happen on the boat ride over to Winterfell at the end of Season 7, and it exactly did, but hashtag boat sex and Jon and Dany getting together, specifically Jon eating her ass for some reason, became the meme of the week for that entire month. Who's your favorite person here? Dany. What's your favorite thing to do? Dany? Alright, what about your favorite thing to eat? It can't possibly be Dany. And yet, what you doing there, Samwell Tarly? Reading through some books? Looking at some ancient hieroglyphical things about the... Wait a second. Wait a second. What is that? What'd you just find there, Sammy boy? Could it be Jon Snow eating Dany's ass? Because I think that was foretold. What? There's another one? Okay. I do eat ass well. I practiced on Ghost. Ah, dude, your dog? Weird. But I will not eat your ass. Oh, he will not bend the knee. I will only eat Dany's ass. She gave me dragon glass, so I will only eat dragon ass. If it rhymes, it's true. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, remember to smash that like button. It helps me out more than you know, and you can subscribe so you don't miss my videos every week. But now let's move on to my favorite scene of all of Game of Thrones history, watching Ollie hang by his fucking neck. Ollie has his parents killed, ooh boo hoo, and then proceeds to be taught how to fight, basically, by Jon Snow himself. And then what happens when everybody turns on Jon Snow? So does Ollie, stabbing our hero to death. What a bitch. But what happens when a main character dies in a major TV show? That's right, somehow he comes back to life, and that's exactly what happens here. They had magic back in the medieval times, if you guys don't remember. Jon Snow took a knife to the heart. He died for us. Stop telling people I'm dead. Come on, Davos. Sometimes I can still hear his voice. He protect, he boat sec, but most importantly, he hang Ollie by his skinny bitch-ass neck. That's what you get for trying to kill Jon Snow. You get killed by Jon Snow. Does this make Jon Snow a White Walker? We don't have time for theories, man. More memes. You know, with the amount of nudity in the show, it does make sense for you to feel some kind of attraction to the characters, but this comparison, I'm a little worried. Let's knock out some of the Stark children, shall we? Robb Stark was promised himself to one of Walder Frey's daughters so that they could form an alliance, he could cross the bridge, and end the show in its entirety. He was on his way to winning. Instead, he decides to stick his dick in a foreign chick, call off the alliance, and then have himself, his mother, his wife-to-be, and his unborn child murdered to death. What a show. So what are my options here? I could have a 10 out of 10 Frey girl for a wife, 1,000 knights and 4,000 foot soldiers, my family and my bannermen alive, control of the trident and keep my word? Or a swarthy foreigner with a big ass? Talissa, watch out. You're about to be stabbed. Your unborn baby. Oh no, she has an AirPods. Oh God. Let's take a look at some of the fancy powers that the Stark kids have gotten, huh? Jon Snow, of course, is king in the north. The crippled kid becomes the three-eyed raven. Arya started as a tomboy, but now is a faceless assassin. And annoying Sansa becomes slightly older annoying Sansa. Every little bit counts. I could write an entire book about how useless Bran has been in this entire story, and I'd probably still get it done before George R.R. Martin writes his next one. But let's be honest. Bran has done absolutely nothing, immediately gets crippled, and is still crippled. Jon Snow came back to life. You can't learn to walk, kid? Alright, it's the first time you've seen Sansa in forever. She just found out you're alive, basically. Should you tell her that Littlefinger got your dad killed? Or that Jon's a Targaryen? Tell her that the White Walkers are approaching the wall? Nah, let's say she looked beautiful the night that she was horrifically raped after being forced into a marriage. Alright, we gotta rapid fire through some of the rest of these, because if I did a whole segment for every single one of the characters, we'd be here until the next book comes out. Queen Cersei. Main thing you need to know about her, she has a twin brother / lover. You heard me. My brother and I are so close, we finish each other off. You love Jaime, don't you? Like a brother, your grace. What? Peter Baelish, probably the most problematic character throughout the entire season. Sort of a pedophile, but maybe it was okay back then. I don't really know how this works. Don't try to say to me that Joe Jonas isn't Littlefinger Jr. only marrying Sophie Turner to get Winterfell. It's a little too real, man. How do you answer these charges? Lord Baelish? I command you to escort me back to the Vale. You cannot fast travel while enemies are nearby. GG, Peter. Totally DTF auntie with some milky jugs, eh? And you get to keep the Vale? Nope. Unrequited love for a 13-year-old. Alright. Whatever you want to do, Littlefinger. Fun fact, Peter Dinklage is actually much larger than most of the other actors, but they had to shrink him down in post-editing so that he could play a dwarf. Lady Olenna, one of my favorite characters in the show, kills one of my least favorite characters in the show and tells Jaime to tell his bitch sister right to her face. This is basically how this scene goes, right? Don't worry, Lady Olenna. The poison will be painless. I don't want to kill you and cause you any harm. Tell Cersei I murdered her f***ing kid. And of course, my personal favorite, I'm about to barbecue this man's only child. Gotta love the memes that are a little more recent, and you gotta love the memes that are going to be coming out now that the show's going to start up in just a couple weeks here. We should probably save some until then. If you made it this far down, why don't you click on one of the boxes by my face to watch another episode of the SumitoMedia show, and I'll catch you guys in next week's video. Peace.